Hello, Doña County. This is Anita Skipper. I am the Chief Public Information Officer with Doña County, coming live and direct on Facebook to talk with you today. Thank you guys for your patience. I tell you, technology is great when it's great, right? Again, my name is Anita Skipper. I am the Public Information Officer for Doña County, and I'm glad to be here with you today. This is something we really look forward to because it's a new way that we get to talk directly to you and allow you to talk to us. I know with social media, if you're not on it all the time and constantly monitoring the posts, you might miss something that we talk about. It may have already passed, and so we get the opportunity to keep you abreast of things going on at the county. So I wanted to come on today. This will be a quick live, but it will be as quick as you want it to be because this is a time to ask me any questions you have about the student internship program. Many of you have been sending us messages and posting things on our page. And so we thought today is a great day to clarify some of the things going on with the student internship. The success of this internship program is important to us, those of us who work here at Doña County, as well as to the community, the business owners who have agreed to host an intern for the summer, the coordinators who have agreed to serve as the liaisons between the businesses and the county to make sure that our students have a great work experience. It's important to you, your families. You are allowing your children, your students to participate in this program. And so all of us are part of what will make this a wonderful success for the second year in a row. So I thought I would start first by just going through some of the frequently asked questions I receive. And the reason I'm doing that is just because someone else has asked the question before, or maybe they answered it 2 days ago, or they asked the question 2 days ago and we replied, doesn't mean that you saw that response. So our goal is to come on as often as we need to make sure that everyone understands what's going on and to clarify anything we need to answer any questions. So how about we jump in? I invite you. The success of this is based on you participating, asking us questions. I have my phone right here. I will be responding to your questions if it's something that I do not address. So please don't hold back. Send us your questions. But we will also post an answer to your questions in the chat later so that if someone is watching this on replay, they're able to see the answer to the questions as well. So thank you all for joining us. If you haven't already, share this with others, tag your friends, tag business owners, coordinators, students who have talked about this, friends you've heard say, oh, my kid needs a job for the summer. It's one of the best paying gigs around for the summer. So please feel free to share this information. All right, let's go with our questions here. The first one I'll start with, it says, my student or my child, plug in whatever is appropriate, applied for the student internship program and or attended orientation, but has not heard anything back. So let me break that down. We have an application on our website at www.doñaanacounty.org/summer intern. You would go there, click on the button that says apply. There's a student section, there's a coordinator section, and there is a business section. So click on the appropriate part. Fill in that information. That is the first part of this process. It is important that you not only apply, but that you attend an orientation or participate in a virtual one, which we also offer. At this point in the game, we are offering virtual orientations, but completion of that is required as well. Once you complete those two, in the orientation, you are asked for your identification documents or your I-9 documents. So one, you must apply. Let me tell you what happens when you apply. When you submit your application, you will receive an email that will tell you thank you for applying, and it will let you know that we received your application. If you never received a notification email, please understand that we do not know you applied. So just because you submitted it, if you received a pending message or you didn't receive any notification, that likely means some information was missing, something was not done completely. But our system does not send us a message saying, Anita Skipper, your daughter applied and the application did not come through. So we realize that many of you will contact us and say, we never heard from anyone. Well, thank you for sending us these messages. They help us, because if you do not notify us and you did not receive that completion message, we have no way of knowing that your child applied. So keep those messages coming. If you did receive a notification and it says that everything is complete, then that's when we can then pull your student or your child's name and find out what happened and maybe even provide you some additional information. So I want to clarify that, because many of you are contacting us thinking, okay, we went through this process and nothing's happened. So just for the sake of this whole conversation, know that if you never received that email, we don't know you applied. Now, if you did apply, you received the email, you showed up in orientation, you submitted your documents. If you're a 15-year-old, you also submitted your work permit, everything is complete with your packet, then we can fill in the blanks. I don't know where I'm placed. I haven't heard from my coordinator. Those are things we can answer. So help us help you by making sure we have all the components completed so that we can speed this process up for you. So if all of that's been done and you have not heard from us, we constantly monitor the inbox on Facebook. And so send us a message. If you'll notice, we've been responding every time someone sends a message. The fastest way to get an answer is to let us know your child's name and send us a contact number so that someone can follow up with you. So hopefully that's clear. Thank you guys for that. I'll move on to the next question. And many of these will have similar answers, but I think repetition will be helpful for us. Why are you asking for more students when my child has not been placed? So I received this question the other day. So let's tell you what's going on. When we started this process, we had a goal of 800 students that we wanted to place in a job opportunity for the summer. That is up more than 250 or so students from last year. We did close to 600 last year. But we wanted to offer the opportunity for more. There's higher pay this year. So really exciting. And most of the students we talked to had a great experience, and the businesses as well. They were excited to participate in this program again this year. So we set a goal of 800. But we have such a kind-hearted county manager who also has the philosophy of, even if we have 801 or 850 or however many students apply, let's find them work. And so we exceeded that number. And thankfully, the businesses stepped up and said, yes, we'll take more. Or my business has never had an intern, but we'll take one this year. We'd like to participate because, again, this is important for our whole community. So why are we taking more students? Let's go back to what I said in the previous question. If your child has not heard from us, there's been a link in the chain somewhere, a glitch in the system. So please contact us immediately so that we can figure out what it is. If additional information is needed, we'll let you know that. If we never received any information, we'll let you know that. So let's go with that part. So we'll separate the part about your child not being placed, because if we have all information, our goal is to place each child. But I want to give a little background onto what it takes to place your student. Different from last year, we had a short period of time to get this program done from the time we were notified that the funding was available, a few weeks, in fact. And our HR department did a miraculous job, actually, placing almost 600 students. This year, we had a little bit more time, and we learned a lot of things from last year. And what we said we wanted to do was, instead of just assigning students to jobs this year, we wanted to find out what the students were interested in and match them with businesses that fit those interests. We talk about this being real life work experience. That's a part of it. Ideally, most of us go into positions as adults because we're interested in that thing. So this year, our team has been working really hard to not only receive the applications, but to find businesses that can accommodate your child's interest. So now think about that. I just told you we had 800 to 1,000 students applying, and people are sitting in a war room every day trying to find matches. And we're not a major city where we have 1 million people, and we're only applying to positions within the county. So sometimes your child may be interested in something that we haven't quite found a business match for. And then another thing we're looking at is we are trying as much as possible to match students to businesses that are in their school district. Many of our students may not have vehicles or transportation, and we did not want that to be a deterrent for them applying for these positions. So we try to keep them closer to their school district. And so when you see us post that we're looking for additional students in Las Cruces, it's because we have a lot of Las Cruces businesses and still some placements needed. And so we'd like more students to match with those Las Cruces businesses. We have a need for businesses in the Gaston ISD area. That's because we have students in the Gaston area still waiting for placement, and we're trying to find businesses in their area so we can keep them closer to home. So if you're a student in Las Cruces or a parent of a student in Las Cruces, and you know that this may be a great opportunity for someone you know, or some person in your community is talking about a summer job for their child, please spread the word. We'd like to fill those positions. Those businesses came to the table willing to participate, and we want to take advantage of their willingness to offer this experience to our students. If you know some business owners in the Gaston area, let them know we need them. We don't want those students to not have a summer work experience because we couldn't find enough jobs in that area. But then outside of that, if you have a student in either of those areas and they have a vehicle and they're willing to travel, let's say the student is in Gaston and they have a vehicle and they're willing to travel to work in Las Cruces, we now may be able to match them. But we do ask the student, are you willing to drive? And so that actually may close the gap a little bit faster if we do have some students who have access to transportation who could attend their work placements every day that's required. Now, I want to talk a little bit about this experience because when we introduced the student internship program, we said that this would be real life work experience. So think about your own life. They're often not always perfect conditions. Sometimes we have to drive a little bit, have a bit of a commute to our jobs. Sometimes we have to be willing to be a little bit flexible and fit into the circumstances. So we were not kidding when we said real life experiences. Everything is not shaping up perfectly, although we would like it to. We would like to have had the exact number of businesses as students and everything work perfectly. And we all know that life doesn't necessarily work that way. So we have a team who is working hard every day to not only address our questions, our concerns, but also match our students up with the best opportunity for them. So that's why you may hear that we're still looking for students, because that's where we have a gap. So if that fits you and your student hasn't been placed yet, but they're willing to travel, it may move things along a little bit faster for us. Okay, how long will the internship last if the student is later starting up? We really are being flexible with this process. We understand that some students found out about the opportunity later than others for whatever reason. We also take a look at what their school district schedule is. We know that Las Cruces has a different schedule now than the other districts, and so those students may need to start at a certain time and end by a certain date. And so our team is also juggling that as well when they place students. But understand that this opportunity is about the students. So we will work with you. Your coordinator will work with you and navigate that between you and the business to determine your start and stop date. If you're a student that is capable of working a little bit longer into the school year, as we had some students last year with a little bit more flexibility, we allowed that. If students were only able to come and work up to 4 weeks or 6 weeks and had to stop at that point, we allowed that as well. This is up to 10 weeks, but your coordinator will work with you and your schedule. So I hope that answers that for you. When does the internship end? I think I just responded to that. It ends either at the 10-week period or at the period where you have a scheduling conflict with your school schedule, because we understand that these are high school students and we are trying to be considerate of their schedules. Is it too late to apply? No, it's not. Again, if you're a student in Las Cruces, please apply. If you're a student even in another area, and maybe you're just learning about this, if you're a parent of a student, and this is the first time you're hearing about the student internship program, please apply. We are still open. You might have noticed that we closed it for a bit because we did have over 1,000 submissions. But as you heard me say in the beginning, a submission is only one part of it. If we do not receive a completed application, if you do not turn in the proper documentation, we are not allowed to place you or that student in a job opportunity. And so our numbers dwindled because everyone didn't submit complete applications. So there is still room for you. Please spread the word. What does it mean if an application shows pending? If your child or your student submitted an application and they did not receive a message that said it's complete and it shows pending or anything other than thank you for submitting your application, we received it, anything other than that, please contact us. You can inbox us in our Facebook page or you can contact us. We have our phone number plastered all over social media, but please do send us a message immediately so we can figure out what went on with that. Sometimes it may just be a technical glitch, but just know through this whole process, we want to place the student. We're not looking for ways to weed people out. We want to maximize the resources we've been given. And also we want to continue to stand as a beacon of light in what this program can do for a community. We started that last year. We're building upon that this year. I have left messages. Why is it taking so long to hear back from someone? Well, if you've been listening the whole time, you've heard me share we have a pretty small team handling a lot of responsibilities with over 800 students' applications and matching with businesses and trainings and coordinators and all of that. But please know that it is not our intent to ignore your messages. Sometimes, just as it does in our own lives, things may happen and they fall through the cracks. So the PIO or public information team is attempting to help as well. And so if you send a message to our Facebook inbox, we can also help you reach the right person. So we're going to choose to not focus on, Doña County's ignoring us. That's definitely not it. It might have just been overlooked or there's some miscommunication somewhere, but give us the opportunity to make it right by sending us a message. We'd appreciate that. All right. The next one says, even beyond this live, who should I contact with questions? So beyond this live, again, send us an inbox message. You also, if you know your student or your child submitted a completed application, received the notification showing that it was completed, they completed orientation, they provided documentation. If they're 15-year-olds, they submitted their work permit. If all of that was done and you still have questions beyond this live, you can inbox me or inbox my team, as I mentioned, on the Facebook Live. But you also can contact Miranda. I will spell that for you. It's MIRANDA NDAW@DoñaAnaCounty.org. And write in the subject line, application status request. If your question is about something other than application status, then it might be best for you to allow us to address that. So send that to the Facebook inbox, because Miranda and the team, Lonnie and many of them, they are focused fully on getting the rest of these students placed and being out recruiting businesses and all of that. So often they may be in and out of the office. So please, I'm giving you ways to have your questions answered quicker. So please use those options so that we can get your questions answered. We know that it can be frustrating when it feels like no one's responding. So I'm giving you the faster ways to receive a response. What locations will the internships be in? They're all over the county. That's the wonderful thing. And we have no way of necessarily knowing, okay, yes, we're going to put the student here. The student may be at the hospital. They may be at the city of Las Cruces. They may be at El Paso Electric. They may be here at the government center. They may be at a salon across town. We had many businesses from all over the county. So one, it's going to depend on what your student was interested in. If you want to specifically know where the student is placed, their coordinator gave them their assignment. But prior to you signing up, we don't know where the student will be placed. All we know is our goal is to place them near their school district. And we will take a look at what businesses are willing to host students in their school district. And then we try to match them based on their interest. Hope that answers that question for you. All right. And this is a repetition of what I responded to earlier, but I'll say it again in case you're listening for the first time or you missed the first part. Why are you only looking for students in Las Cruces? We are not. We've placed students in Hatch. We've placed students in Gaston ISD, Sunland Park, all over. We tag all the local high schools and school districts. We wanted students from all over Doña County, public, private, charter schools, any high school students between the ages of 15 and 18. That's also including recent graduates. If a student is going off to college and they have not started their freshman year, they are eligible to work as well. So we just happen to be now looking for students in Las Cruces because we still have some business partners in Las Cruces who have positions to fill. And so in our attempt to keep students within their school district, that's why you may see some specific marketing for students in Las Cruces, just like we are marketing for businesses around Gadsden ISD. Okay? And how many students has the county placed? We are nearing the 800 number. It vacillates a bit because I can tell you, just like in life, sometimes life happens. Maybe a student signed up and a commitment came up that they couldn't change. Maybe a student signed up and didn't like where they were paired or decided, maybe the summer job thing is not for me. And so you will have some changes, just like it happens in our own lives as adults. But our original goal was 800 students. And our county manager, as well as our hardworking HR team and everyone else in the county and all the businesses who signed up and the coordinators who are serving as the liaisons between the students and those businesses, we're all committed to finding work placements for all the students who said they wanted to work. So we thank you all for being a part of this. If you've either said something that maybe doesn't line up with things that I've said today about the program, or you had some other thoughts, or you've heard other people making other thoughts that do not line up with what I've shared today about the program, we would even appreciate you making sure in a nice way that people understand that it's not the case. Ask them to be patient with us, ask them to keep trying, let them know we are here and we want to work with the students, we want to work with you, we want to work with the businesses. So we're not intentionally avoiding anyone or not intentionally not responding to you. That's not the case. So we thank you all for being a part of us helping make this the best summer enrichment program for our students as possible. So that's all the questions I have listed. So now I am going to check to see if there are any questions. I don't necessarily see any. So did I do that great of a job that you all have no questions? That would be nice, right? I don't know about that, but I will hang around for a short, maybe 30 seconds to a minute from now to see if there are any other questions. If not, we will conclude this live. If questions come up later, I will respond to them. Oh, here's another question that came up. Do the student interns have a total amount of hours they can work this summer, or is it only 20 hours a week? I ask because my daughter will barely have started this week. Just wondering if she can make up some of the hours she lost this week. Great question. Thank you, Cece. So we have had some students, because they worked in a shorter period of time, they were able to work more hours in a week. What we're guided by is the maximum they can earn for the summer. And that is $13 an hour up to 10 weeks. So if they will not receive the full 10-week experience, often their coordinator and their business, their work placement will allow them to work more hours as long as they are not exceeding the maximum amount they can earn for the summer, which is $2,600 for the summer. So I hope that answers your question. So if I started at the 10-week period and I'm going to work a full 10 weeks, that comes out to $13 an hour for me working up to 20 hours a week. But if I know that I'm only going to have the opportunity to work 8 weeks, then work with your coordinator and they'll talk to the business about how you can maybe work a longer day so that you can work still up to that $2,600 a month. Hope that answers your question there. If I miss your question, however, I will respond. Okay, I see a question here from Laura Flores. Laura is saying, are we looking for business partners in the Chaparral area? Laura, I will say, go to our website at donianacounty.org, click on the business partners link, fill that out. If we have students, everything with the business partner connection hinges upon the student demand in your area. If we've already placed all of the students who are in Chaparral, then we wouldn't need a business partner there. If we still have some students who either are waiting or may be willing to travel to Chaparral to be a part of that work experience, then we would take more businesses. So please go on to the coordinator page, fill out the information anyway, and then someone from our team will contact you. And even just so that I can track it for you, send an inbox message with your information and I will follow up on that as well. If you are a business in this community and you want to offer this experience, we'll do everything we can to find a student who can take advantage of that. Okay, I've already seen, Laura, I see your messages. Beth Ann Fuller, I want you to know that I do see your messages. And I have personally walked over there today to look at your daughter's information. And so again, I will ask you, please be patient with us. We're not intentionally increasing responsibilities on you. Trust me, you don't have as many on you as HR has on them right now with their restrictions and their deadlines. So someone will be in touch with you. I was the one corresponding with you. Oh, I see another comment that just came in. My daughter is still waiting to be placed. If we find a business partner in Chaparral, is she able to be placed there? If your daughter is still waiting to be placed and there is a business that's not one that you or her family owns, then our team would be looking to place her near her home if that's where you all live or if that's where she goes to school. You are correct, Priscilla. All right, so Cece Sanchez, you're welcome. Yes, so a total of 20 hours a week up to $2,600. So yes, they can work up to so many hours. Not necessarily, it's not all about the 10 weeks. It's just the maximum time they can work. You're correct. Looks like that's all of our questions. And Priscilla, please send me your daughter's name if you have a business in mind, or if you don't, just so that I have it top of mind, please send an inbox with your daughter's name and contact information so that we know I can go and ask about her specifically, as I have done some of the others who are awaiting a response. So send an email if you're trying to email regarding placement. And Laura Flores, has your daughter completed all of the qualifications? If so, send an email to Miranda, MIRANDAW at DoñaAnaCounty.org. And in the subject line, application status request, and let her know whatever it is you're letting her know. And you can inbox me on this actual platform. I will see the message, inbox, and provide the information as well. And I will follow up on it. Jessica Smith, please inbox me your son's name as well as contact information, and I will follow up on his application. Diana, I see that about your daughter. Please send me your daughter's name in the inbox here, as well as contact information. If she is in Las Cruces and all paperwork has been received, then she's in a better position to be matched, because we do have businesses awaiting a match in Las Cruces. Anyone, if you are listening, even on the replay, if you have not heard anything and you know your student, your child has submitted everything, please send a message to Miranda, MIRANDAW at DoñaAnaCounty.org. And you may inbox us here on our Facebook page. So we will work it from both ends. If HR is so overwhelmed, which they really are, and unable to address every message because they are busy placing students, this allows my team to also assist and follow up on those. We're trying to get to everything as fast as possible, and we appreciate your patience. All right, I think that's the last question. Again, if you join this on replay and you have questions, we will address those questions in the comments, because someone else may have the same question. Thank you all for joining us on this live, and thank you for helping us make this a successful internship program by bringing your concerns, your questions, and all of that to us. Because we are busy working in the program, we don't always see what's going on. So without your feedback, without your comments, we don't know that we've missed your child's application necessarily. We may not know that yours is one of the messages in the inbox with 100 messages that we have not received yet, we have not gotten to yet. So we will continue to come on and update you as often as we can, just so that you know we are working on it. And thank you so much for your patience. And for those members of our HR team who are watching this live, thank you guys for how hard you're working. I don't think anyone understands what a huge undertaking this is. And we appreciate your efforts as well for bringing this kind of opportunity to our students. Real life work experience that they will be able to add to their resumes, not only make money for the summer and support some of the things they like to do as students and the fun and buying the school clothes or whatever they normally do with their money, but also giving them work experience that they can add to their resumes so that they don't have to wait until after high school to show that they've been working in some positions of their interest. So thank you all. Even if we don't say it enough, we appreciate all of your hard work. All right, I will close out. You all, thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, bye, Doña County.